I will now walk you through MountainTop EDRM solution. This is MountainTop EDRM user interface. You can use any popular browser on your desktop or mobile devices to access MountainTop EDRM. The search facility works similar to Google search. You can drag and drop documents into the system via the Dropbox function. Here's an example of selecting a document and dropping it into the Upload Dropbox function. You can view the document in EDRM via the EDRM viewer before confirming the upload. A configure form will appear for the user to enter the relevant metadata that will be used to index the document. This can be used for searching and retrieving the document in the future. The number of metadata can be configured based on the document type that is determined by the user. The user then can continue to view the document after it has been saved. Now we can look at the saved document. So this was a document that we uploaded earlier. It is a document used for marketing. Let's perform a generic search. We want to search for information related to test serial. The search will reveal all the documents and content related to the words test and serial. However, you might notice that the first document, invoice 0001, does not contain any words related to test and serial. Let us investigate why this is so. As you can see, the word test serial can be found in the document itself. This is the content search functionality of MountainTop EDRM. Let us switch the view mode to full view to look at more functionality. Let's have a look at Save Searches. This is a useful function as it provides the user shortcuts to popular and regular searches. We select the marketing document search and it will bring us the list of documents that is regularly used by marketing. Let's select a document and perform a right click to review additional options. The log event all will illustrate an audit trail of what have transpired for this particular document. MountainTop EDRM allows for the storage and viewing of all document types. Here are some examples. This one is a video where we can directly view the video when opening the document. The next example is an image file. We can view images directly from MountainTop EDRM. Subsequently, we can also look at PowerPoint documents. This is an example of a PowerPoint viewer within MountainTop EDRM. Lastly, we can look at emails. You can even view attachments from an email directly from the system. You can zoom in and zoom out of the attached documents. Let us now examine some functionalities of document access control. In order to illustrate permission controls, we shall log in using two separate user IDs. The one on the left is the admin and the one on the right is a typical user. We select a document and right-click to look at administration functionality. For the typical user, the administration function is blocked from usage as illustrated. It has been grayed out. Next is to look at the ability to delete documents. Let us select another document by both the users. Select the Content tab and right-click. You can see the Delete Content version is disabled for the typical user. But for the administrator, this is available. This is a typical permission control function applied to all documents when using MountainTop EDRM. This next function is meant for compliance purposes and is often used for sensitive and confidential documents. It is called check-in and check-out. In this illustration, we will show a login by two separate users. Nelson select a document and execute the checkout function. Once the document is checked out, the second user is unable to check out the document. Right-click and you can see the checkout function is being blanked out. Nelson can then click and work on the checked out document that was previously taken out. Now we want to check in a newer version of the document. What we do is we select the check-in function. You can opt to check in a new version or leave the document as checked out. The system will track all versions of the document that has been checked in with the date of creation. So the document has been successfully checked in with a new version, version number 4. Now what we can do is, since a new version has been checked out and he discontinued the usage of the document, the next user can then have access to it as the checkout function is now available. As you can see, it has been highlighted available. The next feature that I would like to talk about is highlights and annotation. This is very useful to document collaboration between team members where each participant team member are able to provide comments on documents without actually defacing the original document. We have selected a document. Let's choose the highlight function, which is color-coded to show an impression on a document that requires highlighting. That function is at the bottom of the screen. Press highlight and we select color yellow. And what we want to do is we want to highlight a block of text on the document itself. So that's highlighted. For annotations, there are several options. The first one is point annotation. So once again, the selection is down the bottom. We select the point annotation, we point to a particular point in the document, and we can insert annotations to it. The next option is the possibility to highlight a block of text for annotation. So once again, we select the annotation functions, we highlight a block of text, and then we can insert the annotation. Quite simple. Last but not least is to highlight a block and insert an annotation. So we select the option down the bottom, highlight an entire block of text, and then insert the annotation. All these annotations can be used across different versions of the same document. The next function is to perform a strikeout. This is to provide feedback to the document owner to remove a line or a block of text from a document without defacing it. So we select the strikeout option down the bottom of the page and we highlight the lines in the document that we would like to strike out. We can also use the draw function to perform a highlight and subsequent insertion of an annotation. So drawing is actually quite simple. You use your mouse and you can draw and highlight words in a document. If we have made an error, we can choose to delete function to eliminate any of the actions that was taken. So you can choose to delete or you can choose to save it. So once done, we can save the annotation and assign permission to it as well. Let's clear all the annotations and reload it once we need to view them again. Annotations are saved based on individual user who created the annotation. If there were multiple users, you can select to view all. As you can see, all the annotations are displayed upon selection. In this segment, we will explore the functionality of Secure Share. There are many instances where we need to share documents to external parties. We need to do this in a secure manner. Let us pick a document to illustrate how this works. We select a PDF document that belongs to marketing. We select the secure share function. We are required to populate some information such as the email ID of the recipient of the document, the required password in order to view the document with option for an expiry date attached to it, or to only allow the document to be shared once. We can enter a title and description for the email. Once it is completed, we press send. An email will be automatically sent to the recipient, as EDRM can be integrated with your email server. Next, we will look at the email that the recipient will receive. Let us switch to the email. This is the email received by the recipient. Email will indicate the expiry date of the document and a link to access the document. When we click on the link, a password request will pop up for the user to enter the password. Once validated, the user can view the document. This is a common method to share documents externally in a secure fashion via MountainTop EDRM. The next topic, we will examine retention policy. It is important to define the life cycle of types of documents and the retention policy setup. We determine this. We select the retention option on the menu and let's add a new policy. The creator ID and date of creation will be defaulted. We need to enter the title of the policy, policy number, and short description. We can create parent-child relationships with policies. We can enter the start date and end date of the policy as well. Next, we need to define the trigger. There are various options that are provided as a standard, and we shall choose destroy. The duration we set as 7 years as per Malaysian statutory requirements. Then we save the policy. Next, what we need to do is to append this newly created policy to record types. In this scenario, we want to tie the policy to all marketing materials. What we will do is we will select the option default to choose the appropriate retention schedule, and then we save the settings to the document. So this is the marketing document. We go to the default and we set the policy in this screen. Once this is done, let's go to the document itself and have a look at the retention tab. We select the document. We select the retention tab. As you can see, it says document will be destroyed in 7 years after creation date. This is how retention policies are set up for use in the system. We have come to the end of this very short demo of MountainTop EDRM. Hopefully you have gained some understanding on some of the key functionality and features that are provided in the system.